here I go coming. I can't ever stop, I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top, I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, friends. Hello. How is everybody today?
Peachy.
Doing great.
Thumbs up.
It's warmed up. It's hard to be not, I mean, even though it's kind of gray and overcast,
Yes.
it's not freezing ass cold.
Yes.
I went and got a car wash today.
Oh, I need
Cool.
one so bad.
Well, I couldn't see out my rear, the little backup camera mirror, or the backup camera. Couldn't see out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the
That's
same
never
problem. Yep.
Yeah.
But I
That's
just
never
used
good.
the old squeegee when I filled up with gas. And then I do the mirrors, rocking
Yeah.
it old school.
Yeah. Sounds, yep. Everyone needs to do that. Well, hey, everyone. This is 3 Cocktails In. We're back. And actually, we're back with part 2. So, part 1 was all about Amy and her career and what she does. And guess what? This is part 2, all about Kitty. So, here's our question, Kitty. What exactly do you do?
Today, currently in 2024, I am the Vice President of Brand Experience at Heroic Productions. We are a corporate event production company. So when I tell people that, I often find that they still don't understand what I do. And so it basically, we work with large corporate clients, and particularly corporate clients who are using meetings and events as part of their marketing strategy. And our area of expertise is the audio, video, lighting, and staging. So we help them design and execute what the whole stage production is going to look like for their big meeting or event. Sometimes these are one-day events. Sometimes these are 4 or 5 day events. They're typically at convention centers or big, beautiful hotel venues. Oftentimes they are in warm climates, but that's where I work. That probably still doesn't answer the question about what I do, though, does it?
No.
Yes.
And
So that's your
you-
company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my whole career has been in a business development role, actually, and that is the role that I have at Heroic. The whole evolution of my career started. My first sales job was in the mid 90s, and I worked for a company called Duplication Factory. This was back in the days of when video marketing had emerged as a really hot marketing tool. And so I kind of curious to know how many people remember getting a videotape in the mail. Probably quite a few that are around our age and older. That became a very hot, it wasn't a commodity, a hot marketing approach. And so while the company that I worked for was the manufacturer, we did the high-speed duplication. The core of what we did was we were executing marketing campaigns basically for our clients. So that kind of sent me on this marketing trajectory. And I have worked for a variety of agencies over the years in a business development role. So I always tell people everything that I know today about branding and marketing, I know just from working inside an agency environment. So I am selling. I am out talking with prospective clients all the time and finding corporate clients who have a need for what we do. And then we talk about the scope of their project and we put a deal together.
How do you think you landed on this one?
Mm-hmm.
You've done a bunch of different things and you've just alluded to it.
Yeah.
You've done. So what is it about this experience marketing? Is that the right term?
Honestly, I would say that if I look at the entire path of my career, it was a complete evolution, and it really is a testament to letting things unfold in front of you. I really believe that I was born to do what I'm doing. right now. But let me be clear, what I'm doing is a lot of things. So not only what I do at Heroic, which I love, but also you guys know I have this side hustle with my jewelry business, doing the podcast with you guys. These are the things that I feel like I was born to do. But if I had to point to moments that really defined this direction that I went, I think it would have to be the 10 years that I spent at Capsule, which is a brand design agency downtown Minneapolis. And that's really where I fell in love with branding and design and the whole philosophy of experience design. So when I get really excited, I'm usually talking about experience design.
So what does that mean? How does that, because you've mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to me, the shopper,
Yeah.
the person out of the know?
Yeah. Somebody who doesn't, isn't really thinking about it through a marketing lens. It truly is the design of creating a physical experience. So a brand creating a physical experience that will interact with a customer. And I try to not use the word customer or user. We're people. And regardless of whether or not we're making a purchase decision for me, for my home, or I'm making a purchase decision for my company, in general, we go through the same thought process. We go through the same decision-making process. So the experience design is truly creating an immersive experience for a person that brings them closer to the brand. And I like to think about this topic in terms of I like to back way up and remind people about the evolution of our economies over time, because I will often hear people say things like, this modern world that we live in, nothing is the same anymore. And, with the rise of everything is digital now. And the fact of the matter is everything is always evolving. And I think back to when retail was changing in a big way and people were saying, retail is dying, retail is going to be dead. Retail was never dying or in danger of dying. It was simply changing. And so I think to help people get comfortable with that change factor as it relates to this topic, let's think about the evolution of our economies over time. 10,000 years ago, we were an agrarian economy. We were farmers. We were plucking out of the soil what we needed to survive. And that was a commodity. And then I'm recalling, like mid 18th century, we moved into the industrial economy. So now we're manufacturing and creating goods. The 1960s, roughly, we moved into the service economy. So this is now where you started to see true service offerings like financial services, retail. This is when retail emerged, hospitality, health services. Those would be some examples. And then in the mid 90s, the experience economy emerged. And it is defined as an economy in which many different goods and services are sold by emphasizing the effect that they can have on people's lives. So rather than just being a good or a service. And one of the best examples is Disney. So whenever people will ask me, I still don't understand what you mean. What is an experience? So let's think about Disney. All of the products that Disney owns, what they have excelled at is creating an immersive experience. So when you go to any of the Disney properties, you're going to go into the little stores and you're going to buy the little plush toys and you're going to put the little ears on and you're going to buy all of those Disney products. But it's the experience that is bonding you to the brand. And that is, once brands started to figure out that as human beings, we have all of these senses and we want to have an experience. And when you have a physical experience with a brand, you create a memory, and that's what creates a bond. So this experience economy bloomed late 90s, and it has just continued to become more and more prevalent. Brands have figured it out. Some brands do it better than others, but it is truly. I think it's a super creative and vibrant component within marketing, and I can't get enough of it. Watching it, observing it, writing about it, speaking about it, it's fascinating to me.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Is so even throughout your career, has technology and advancements in that made changed the branding and marketing
Mhm.
and your experiential, type events? Has that changed throughout
Mhm.
even your career? Because I would assume, did they have your company or your job, 30 years ago?
Yeah. Yes, it has definitely changed. Technology has changed everything in our world. When you think about, so this is fascinating to me. When you think about people who are in their 90s and hundreds, because we are living longer and longer. And I believe I heard a futurist speak on this once where they said the first person who will live to be 150 is living today. Let that sink in for a minute. I do not like hearing from futurists. They freak me out. Um, but but yes, technology has changed everything in our lives. So I was just reflecting on, can you imagine how the world has changed for people in their 80s, 90s, and hundreds? The evolution of technology, amazing. We know, what it has been for us. The young people in our lives, they've always had it.
Yeah.
Our kids, they were born with a phone in their hand. Not really, but but yes, technology has changed everything, and it's one of the reasons why I am always reminding people that the way people buy today has changed, and it's because of this. It's not because of COVID. Happened way before COVID. It's because of these computers that we keep in our pockets every day. We are more informed. We are more apt to want to do as much research as possible on our own before we talk to a salesperson. So that's one thing. Um, and
We
so,
talked about that in real estate.
oh,
People have already bought, they're already seeing themselves in the home based off of the photos that they've found on their home or on their phone
yes.
before they ever come or talk to anybody about what the home might have to offer for them. They've
Mhm.
gone through, yeah.
Yeah, they want to go as far down the path to purchase as possible until they get to the point where they're like, okay, now I need to talk to somebody.
Mhm.
So we as selling entities, so we as salespeople, as well as sales-driven organizations, they need to acknowledge that and acknowledge the fact that if we're still selling the way that we were selling 40 years ago, you're not gonna have success. So there's a whole bunch of new technology that allows us to better connect with people in that environment where they want to be. It's why we have digital ads. It's why you're served up ads when you're scrolling Facebook or Instagram or whatever it might be. And you click on one thing and then all of a sudden you start to see ads. Well, yeah, it's built that way because that's just how we shop as consumers. From our business perspective, we sort of we've gone, and this was because of COVID, we've gone from all in-person events to when COVID happened, our business went away overnight. So I wasn't working at Heroic when that happened. I was at another experiential agency. We went from 100 people to 35 overnight because the business went away. I was let go from that company, and at Heroic, same thing. Our company lost all of our business overnight. So the quick pivot that Heroic did was that we converted a good portion of our warehouse space into a studio environment, so that during those months of lockdown, in a safe way, our clients could come in and they could execute virtual events. So we went completely virtual. And people thought, oh, this is just gonna last a couple months.
Yeah.
It went on and on. So then at a certain point when restrictions were starting to lift, when our clients were able to be back in person, doing in-person events again, they were back in a big way. So what we're seeing now, we're seeing clients not want to have anything to do with virtual, and they just want to be back to in-person. Because again, even though the three of us are sitting here in a virtual environment, we're doing this because we want to share this with a wide audience. But whenever possible, we want to be together. We want to be in the same room, having an experience together. And that's just human nature.
Yeah.
So, yeah, technology has changed everything, and it will continue to. It's interesting now to see what's happening with AI. Lots of conversation, tons of conversation. So, and this is something, so Amy, we should track back and ask you, how is AI affecting your industry? Stacy, when we're getting ready to hear from you next week, I would love to hear how that is being received in your industry and at your company. It is, nobody has the answer. Everybody's just saying, well, it'll be interesting to see. I hate that.
Yeah.
But it's evolving, and you know what? It's not new. It feels new to us because we're just now starting to use it, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah. I do use it in my business primarily because I have right now, I have 8 homes that are available for sale. 5 of them are the exact same home.
Mm.
And the pictures, because they're under construction, are the exact same photos. So I look at Chat GPT. Sorry, there's a little maybe we'll get some sponsorship.
Yeah.
Chat GPT,
Maybe.
Chat GPT. I love it. It's free, but I can put my first description of the home in, and I can hit rewrite.
Mhm.
And it just rewords what I've already said. Now, I'm too much of a control freak to let AI just go. I think that good AI comes from good input.
Yes.
Mhm.
You have to start with good ideas, and then you're just asking Chat GPT or AI to be your editor.
Yeah.
So
Or for it to just start your outline for you, give you the initial thoughts, and then you go and make it better.
And write it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 10 reasons why,
Mm-hmm.
5 reasons why.
Yeah.
But like so many things, it's only as good
Mm-hmm.
as
As
the
what you
person
put in.
using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to feed it some information before it will give you what, a better version of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use it pretty much every day as well. And it's never, it's always a thought starter for me. It just gets me started, and then I make it better. So when I do hear people feel just very negative about it, like, yeah, it's kids are going to use it to write their papers, and okay, all of those things are being addressed. Absolutely. You can't, whatever it is that you're crafting or writing will still need the human touch. The AI is only going to be able to take it so far, and you can tell when something is just generated by AI and hasn't been refined or touched. It's going to be it's interesting to hear designers talk about this because it's happening in the design world as well. I'm not a designer, so I don't really feel qualified to talk about that. Boy, that could be an interesting topic, as we're always creating a list of who are the guests that we want to have on our show. That would be a good one. But
I'd like to talk to artists about it.
yes.
There's big discussions about AI generated art.
Yeah.
We went kind of off on a tangent.
I know
there.
we got off away from the topic all about Kitty. So
Well,
we need
it's,
to get back
Well,
to that.
Kitty asked the questions. So
I think I did. Yeah. I think I did. No, that's really important.
So do you
When-
have any information about how, consumers have changed their buying habits? What's changed over the past few years?
Well, I think the biggest one is our we talked a little bit about our ability to do our own research and do our own comparison and just go and buy things online. So going back to, when I mentioned that there was all this scare about retail dying, retail never, in fact, was dying. People were just wanting a different way to buy. So, and I think all of us, we have times where we'll just go to Amazon and grab something because we don't have time to go to the store. But then there are times that I want to get in my car and I want to drive to the mall or whatever. I'm going to go to the gallery and I'm going to walk around and I want to immerse myself in the retail environment. We have the option now more than ever. So while we know when we want to online shop, we also know when we want to physical shop as well. So retailers are having to put more into their experience, which has been fun to see, right? Isn't it fun to walk into a store that
has
you
upped
love?
their game.
Yes, you love to be in the environment. They're doing that because we are demanding it as consumers. And we're demanding it by either we're not shopping there or they create this better environment and it's truly you build it then they will come. That design or that focus is proving itself out by getting people back into stores again.
Yeah. And it also, for me, I don't think about the great experiences because I think that's where the standard is. Now I notice when something isn't up to par. I just
Yes.
went to a mall yesterday and walked in what used to be one of my favorite stores and went, ugh, what a dump.
Ah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And it used to be the place to go.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And so we have become kind of
Yeah.
accustomed to a certain level
Mhm.
of experience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's not always, I'm perhaps you have some examples of companies or companies that you've worked with. I don't know if you signed NDAs or anything,
Mhm.
but it's not just really expensive companies that are doing this. This is, I mean, am I wrong? Am I
No.
wrong there?
No.
It's,
And I think that's um, a misunderstanding too. That it's only big brands that have million or billion-dollar budgets that can create experiences like that. It's not true. It's going to take some creativity, but there are ways to think about, well, what is the experience that you um, where are the opportunities that you can create an experience for someone? And it can be as simple as behaviors. It doesn't have to be in, necessarily within the brick and mortar. It could be an experience. Here's an example. So this is a Caribou Coffee example. So for those of you who aren't in our area, Caribou Coffee is like a Starbucks, be like Scooters. Um, and so when you think about the person who is consuming coffee or whatever drink or food item that they might be going to Caribou for, you've got several different customer types. And so you need to think about the different experiences that those people are going to have. So you've got the person who is going to drive there, they're going to park, they're going to go in, they're going to order, get their coffee, and walk out. You've got the person who's going to park, go in, get a coffee and sit down. They might be meeting somebody. They might be planning to sit there and work by themselves. And then you've got the person who's going to go through the drive-through. Those right there are 3 different experiences that you need to think about. What experience is that person going to have? What are they going to see? How are they going to interact with the brand? And a behavior that can be infused into the experience is as simple as this. So I order my coffee. So let's say I'm getting my medium skim vanilla white mocha with less chocolate, less vanilla, whip, and no other toppings. Yes, that is my order. And I pay 5 or 6 something for that drink. And so the person, at the register takes my order, it goes to the barista, and now I wait for my coffee. And so as she or he, they're crafting my coffee that I have, obviously I love this drink. I have fine-tuned it to that recipe, and I shell out $6 or maybe $7 for it. What a great experience would it be if, when that barista is done making it, she actually takes it with 2 hands and hands it to me and makes eye contact with me. That is a completely different experience than throwing it up on the counter and saying, skim white mocha, and then going on to the next. That's a behavior that has a tremendous amount of value to it. Now, some people, business analysts and things might look at that and say, well, how much more time is that going to take for that person to do that? Well, yeah, it's going to take time, but I guarantee you that memory that is created from that experience, the value of that is tremendous.
Right. It's hard for companies to value or put a value on the customer service aspect of their business, and just
Yeah.
like you said, somebody's going to crunch numbers and think, well, that's taking too much time. Someone else is going to say, yes, but it's very important that we do it.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes you need people like that inside your company or inside your organization to raise those things up and say, I hear what you're saying there, but this is really important. And here's why and how it can make a difference for our brand. Several years ago, I want to say maybe 10 years ago, some of the biggest brands in the world started to add to the C-suite for the first time. And they created a position that was the chief design officer. Coke did it. Pepsi did it. And for the first time, they took a stance and they said, design needs to be at the center of our business strategy. They need to have a seat at the table. And so it wasn't just about, the physical design of something or just the brand. It was about infusing design into the entire business. And that's going to look different for every business, but that person needed to be at the table in this experience economy that we are living in.
Sure. If someone wanted to get into your business, how would they do that? What does that look like today?
I think that it would start, I didn't go to school for marketing. And if I had, I don't know that there would be a whole lot from that education other than the pure fundamentals, the economic marketing / marketing fundamentals. Those, of course, would be tried and true. But all of the tools and the tactics have changed so much. I'm not saying that a marketing degree isn't valuable. It absolutely is today. It is valuable for sure. I'm not sure though that there are educational institutions out there that are teaching this granular or that are teaching these verticals within marketing. You've got this umbrella of marketing, and then underneath that, you've got all of these different disciplines that you can explore. So I think I learned the best way being inside an agency. I think that's the best way to become immersed in seeing how brands work with their agency partners. Come at it from, with a marketing degree or marketing interest. but get into an agency where you have an opportunity to work for many different brands. You're not just in one industry. It's one place to start. And we've got lots of agencies around here in Minneapolis. Tons of agencies. Very good. And that's a vibrant industry all across the country. Interesting, though, that oftentimes when there is a downturn in economy, marketing tends to get cut.
Isn't that just bananas?
It is. It's completely upside down.
That budget.
Counterintuitive.
Yes.
It's wrong.
That's exactly. That's when you need marketing.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Totally agree with that.
I don't know.
Yep. We, as you were talking, I just kept thinking about, man, we talk about influencers on media. We talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you talk about your experience with companies, the experience that they have worked on, crafted, and set up,
Mm-hmm.
I've been influenced for years.
You've been influenced your entire life.
Yes, by experiences. It's why I like to go to this store instead of that one. It's why I buy this instead of that. Because honestly, the stores both carry the same stuff.
Yes. One speaks to you differently than the other.
Yes. And really, I mean, you're talking about coffee and being crafted. I drink Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could go on about the differences in Diet Coke comes in a can, a bottle, a fountain, regionally. There's all sorts of things in country, out of country, overseas, international. But it's a Diet Coke. It's not that much different from where I get it. But you can be damn sure that there are places where I am not going to get my Diet Coke because it's not a good experience.
Yeah.
And yes, I will end up paying more money to go over here because it's a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's the eye contact. It's the,
Yeah. It's the dispenser. Even right. Coke and Pepsi did so much work around designing that new dispenser that has the round section that you got the touch thing. Yeah. And so again, back in my days of working at the agency, we became fairly close with the chief design officer at Pepsi. And so we were meeting with him in New York in his office, and we were standing there in front of one of the prototypes of that machine. And I think Coke had actually come out with it first. And one of us asked him, so what do you think about Coke, launching that or whatever? And he said, great. We are competitors, but we make each other better.
Mm-hmm.
We play off of each other, and it's all in an effort to continue to bring really great products to market. And I know we're getting close to time here, but I would close this conversation with, thinking about Steve Jobs and what a loss that was to lose the amazing innovator that he was, and just the way that he thought and the products that he brought. His whole philosophy was, your inclination is to give people what they want. He said, we need to give people what they don't know they need yet. And I love that. And that just sums up everything about how he thought about product design. Give people what they don't know they need yet. Because once they get it into their hands and they use it and they realize, oh my, how did we ever live without this before? This is, right?
Yeah.
So that sort of forward thinking, that sort of innovative thinking is what I think the most successful brands in the world today are doing. They're always thinking so far out.
Sure.
And thinking in terms of designing for what people don't know they need yet.
Very good. Yes.
I'm not good at
Okay.
making that heart sign.
I gotta go like that. Okay. That was very interesting. I hope you as the listener was as, interested in that topic as I was. If you were, remember, listener, please share and like and comment, even if you want to DM one of us or about something.
Mhm.
Please let us know what you think every time.
Yes. Love
Right?
it. I think are we all on LinkedIn? Stacey, are you on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are all on LinkedIn. You guys find us on LinkedIn. Let's connect and be network buddies.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we can be professionals too.
Yes. We can. We can.
You
Sometimes.
won't see these videos being launched into the LinkedIn, our LinkedIn world, but
You
You
know.
never
we
know.
actually do earn livings.
We
Yes.
do.
What we
Yes,
do.
we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, listeners, we're
Yeah.
smart.
Yes. Well, we have to do that to support our podcast habit.
That's right.
We do have to. We're not,
Yeah. We're not
quitting
just
our
smart
day
asses.
job.
We are
Right.
smart people.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Believe it.
Yeah,
That
funny.
is true.
Well, Stacey, I hope you're ready. You're in the hot
I'm
seat
number
next.
3. Yep. Next
That
up is me.
yours.
Woo, exciting.
I'm really excited about yours because I know nothing
Thing.
Me too.
other than you check corn.
Mhm.
I don't do that.
So, Stacey, you know what I tell people you do?
Once a year.
What? Oh yeah,
I
at
tell-
harvest I do. You're right.
I tell people that you buy and sell corn.
Kinda half of that. I do half of that. Close. Very close.
Clearly, we need a class.
I know.
We're gonna
Yes.
get one,
Okay.
right?
Well,
Ooh,
and
I will try to work that into 40 minutes, but I don't know. We'll see.
I love it that when we are on girls' weekends, and it must be a weekday, maybe it's not weekend, when we're on a girls' trip and it's weekday, that you are listening to the farm report.
Oh yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah, once in a while.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that. See,
Pretty exciting. Woo.
we each have very interesting, very different areas of expertise, and
Yeah, we do.
I think
Well,
that's
that's
wonderful.
what makes it so great because,
Yeah.
just this, both Amy and I, there's a piece of marketing in both, what we both do.
Sure.
And yet we, Kitty's our expert at this. So,
Mhm. And you both live in houses.
yes, we do have houses. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So we'll
Oh,
see
boy.
how this goes next time. But otherwise, yeah.
All
we're
right.
good. Cheers, ladies.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
See you next week.
Yeah.
All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10. Turning up the crowd when I hit 'em with